Hi everybody, it's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen, and I have had like a few things that I just really want to talk about. So I'm just gonna do a video where I explain, I'm just gonna see kind of what comes through, but I got this whiteboard because I really wanted to explain some key concepts about energy, because I work with energy visually. And I know that makes my work really unique. People are often surprised when I say I do energy work. People, they're always asking, like, is it Reiki? And I'm like, no. And it's just a really unique thing that I think is connecting with a lot of you. And so I wanted to kind of go into a few things. I'm going to see what comes up. But one of the things that makes my work different, and this is not just a pitch about my work, of course I'm going to tell you about what I do, right? But it's like this whole world that I'm passionate about, and that's why I love being on YouTube, because I get to just kind of like talk about things that, you know, I don't get to do that in other platforms. So thank you for being with me. And I love making energy practical. I love making energy visual, especially. People are really shocked when I tell them that when you do a free consult with me, again, this is just the truth, I will do a digital drawing of the energy box. I'll draw them for you. I'll tell you where they are. I'll tell you what they're about, and you get to see this drawing of, you know, it's a basic drawing, like a stick figure drawing, but I'm going to show you where the most pressing issue is in your energy that's creating an unwanted result in your life. And that's just the beginning. That's knowledge that you can take from a free consult with me. Again, they're free. Some people do them and they don't book. A lot of people do them and they do book, but it's up to you. And I don't always offer these too. So the link will be in the description. But anyway, I wanted to give you more visuals about energy, because energy is a very visual place. The energy world is what I call it. It's basically the world that creates the world we see. So think about how real the world we see is. How real do you think the world that creates that must be? The energy world is incredibly vivid, incredibly real, incredibly even more real. It's the supernatural. So the thing about it is that not all of us have the ability to see it visually, because these are frequencies that are basically just like, it's just like, it's the concept of the veil is very accurate. It's like there really is something that keeps us from even believing that we can see that world. And the energy world is all about beliefs. That is the language of the energy world. This is why when you even pray, and the Bible says this, when you pray with belief, your prayers will be answered. Well, why is that? Because belief is the language of the energy world. It's like turning up the volume on your prayer. It's like God will hear you more when you believe more, because your beliefs are like, that is what energy is. Like, negative energy is a negative belief, a specific one too. So negative energy isn't just negative energy, it's specific negative beliefs. Positive energy, same thing, specific positive beliefs. So that's a big thing right there. And then also, to move energy, you need to believe that you can, or you can change your beliefs and that will also move it. And so beliefs are a really, 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 really big deal. And I heard somebody say the other day, beliefs create your reality. And that is accurate, but I want to take it a step further. Your beliefs are your energy. So the beliefs that you choose are the literal positive or negative energies that come inside of you. As soon as your soul makes a choice, I'm going to believe this, I'm going to believe that. Beliefs are deeper than thoughts. Also, it's a real choice that your soul makes. Your soul is like the commander of energy, what comes in or out of you. So it's the commander of the beliefs that you have, which you can choose. And the moment you really choose and decide to believe a negative belief, the energy of that particular negative belief will come into you in a specific place, depending on what the negative belief is. Negative beliefs about, not being lovable might be in your heart chakra, for example, or nobody listens to me, that might be in your throat chakra, or, they can get into your energy body, which is a light map of like an energetic map of every organ, every tendon, every muscle fiber, every cell in your body has this energetic component. And so they can get stuck in that. They can get stuck in your aura. Your aura is not a bubble you're in. Your aura is an extension of your soul, and it is a protector. So it's like the soul is really, really interesting. And I like to teach my students. I have a program called Energy School where I teach you how to do what I do, see energy, clear negative energy, and do my method, Energy Queen Alchemy, that dissolves negative energy. Like, this is a learnable thing. And everybody sees energy in their own way, I want to say. Not everybody sees it visually. A lot of people see it with their third eye, but it's about developing your natural gifts. So anyway, if you're interested in that, you can email me. My email's in the description. But basically, I teach my students your energy anatomy has 3 components. Your energy body, which really does affect your health. It affects there's a kitty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, if you don't know my story about my kitties, you can find that on my channel too. So anyway, you have your energy body, which really affects your health. It affects your, whether or not you're holding tension, which is fear, negative energy in your muscles. And you have your aura, which is, again, an extension of your energy around you. And then you also have your chakra system, which is very highly organized. It's really funny to me how we have all this technology in the world that keeps upgrading, because it really is a reflection of, and not even close to, the technologies that exist in the spiritual world, the energy world. Even the technology of your own soul is so sophisticated. And to be your best, to be your healthiest and your happiest, like, having your chakras functioning is like such a big part of that. And so people think like, oh, the chakras, like, you're a chakra person or you're this or that. It's like God created this incredibly sophisticated world that is so incredible that we only see glimpses of here with the technology we have, iPhones and etc. It's really incredible. And so it's like, yeah, God created that whole system. So let's not like think that it's separate from him. And that's one thing I love really being all about, is I'm not about one thing and another and you have to be this or that. Like, for me, everything, ever since I started seeing the energy world, I realized like we're the only ones that create those kind of divisions. And in the energy world, which is the real truth of everything, it's God's perspective. Like, it's so much unity. So there's not like you're a Jesus person or you're an energy person. It's like literally the same thing. And so that's one thing I like being about too. And I like creating unity with all these concepts. I love being a modern person. I shock people sometimes. I did an interview last week and I was swearing in it, like, because you don't have to be like this or that, or, like, it's like you can be all kinds of things, and that's the way of the energy world. And I think your true identity is like that. It's like you can even, that's some advice I have for you. Like, you can even look at your life. Where am I limiting myself by saying, I can't be this because I'm that. I can't be that because I'm this. Well, what if you can be both? What if you can just, like, that literally is more accurate to who your actual identity as a soul is, because that's the way the energy world is. It's very unified. It's very, I love that about the energy world. So yeah, let's come back to like the negative energies, which are the negative beliefs inside of you. So how they get in you, how blocks get in, I'll use my whiteboard for this, is you're here. Oh shoot, my marker. Oh no, maybe I'm not supposed to draw right now. That is so funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so funny. Where's my marker? I saw the cap come off that earlier, but I didn't realize it dried out. That is so funny. Okay, so anyway, that's okay. I guess I'm just supposed to talk right now, and I'll do drawings in another video when I find my other marker. But yeah, so there's humor right there, and the energy world is a very funny place. I'm actually a comedian in New York, so there's another thing that surprises people, like, oh, you work with energy and you do comedy, and it's like, yeah, because again, unity. You don't need to be like, I have to be this or that. And but yeah, I'll still explain how blocks get in, because I think that's one thing that people want to know about when it comes to your energy. So again, what energy blocks are they are negative frequencies, they're negative energies, and they're not natural to you. So that's why they cause problems. They cause problems in your reality. I was explaining before how, beliefs create your reality, because your beliefs are energies that come into you, and when they come into you, they are what project into your reality. So when people talk about like how we're in a matrix or a simulation, it's more like I use the analogy of a movie theater. Like, when you go to the movie theater, you see a movie on the screen, but it's like, that's like you watching your life every day. And the origin of what you're seeing isn't on the screen, it's on the film reel. So it's more like a projection. And if you want to change what you're seeing, you got to change the film reel. So that's the analogy I use, because that's the actual reality with your energy in your life. If you have negative energy inside of you, it will project things into your reality that have that same negative frequency, for example. And so that's why blocks aren't just about, I feel shitty. They're about, or like affecting your health, affecting your mental health. They're about like literally creating things that you don't want to see. They're creating things that feel that same negative frequency. And this is a concept I never even knew existed until I started seeing energy. Again, you can see more about my story on my channel. I have lots of videos, and and I'll link the interview that I did last week, because that explains a lot too. So that'll be in the description too. But basically, like, it just is that real. And so I call it energy. It's like energetic engineering, or reality engineering, where it's like you can change your reality based on the frequencies that you have inside of you. So getting clearer energy can actually change your reality. It can change the events of your life. It can change things that you don't even think are possible to change. Because if you look at it that way, I'm seeing this thing in my reality. I'll use an example from one of my clients. This client she's in her 40s, and she booked with me. She found me on Facebook, and she booked with me right away. She was like, look, I have a few things going on, but the most pressing thing for me, and usually it will be this way with you, it will be like, there's a lot of things, but there's this one thing that I really need to change. And usually you will have tried a lot of things. I work with a lot of people who I think what was frustrating for this client, I think this is relatable, so I'm going to say it, is like, she was really into like law of attraction. She was really into Abraham Hicks, and she was really into like, Wayne Dyer, and she learned so much and spent so many years trying to heal. And she was like, I don't know why I can't get this to change. And what she wanted to change was her relationship with her family. Her family was like, look, there's Katie. She's so sassy, I love her. She's only a 1-year-old kitten, so cute. Anyway, she couldn't get her family, like her relationship with her family just was negative. They were really critical of her. It's like she couldn't, it really bothered her day to day. They were never supportive. It's like she was never good enough, and it was really, really hard on her. And I think this is the thing I want to say about a lot of the things that are out there that you might have tried, including Reiki, including all the people I mentioned. And I think those are all incredible things that, you know, EFT tapping and all of that. I've done all those things too. But what makes what I do different is it's like you have to realize that, like with my client, there was this negative thing in her reality, right? And no matter what she did, it's like she couldn't get rid of it. And it's because she wasn't going to the root cause in her energy and getting rid of that. Because it's like you can do all kinds of positive things, but if you have this negative thing just sitting there and you're not getting rid of it, it's going to keep creating that same thing. And that's what we call a pattern or a block. And so it can be really helpful to just get those dissolved, to have somebody like me who's a specialist and zoning in on the exact energy that is the root cause and dissolving that. That's what I do. And basically, sometimes when I start working with people, I hear their stories and I'm like, well, you know, let's just see what happens. I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I know that clearing your energy is going to make your reality more positive. And since we have the intention to be clearing this specific issue, that's what I'm going to be, you know, honing in on when I work on you. And, you know, hopefully we can make some really positive things happen. But I don't know. And a lot of the work, you know, I work with Jesus, I work with God. So it's like it's in God's hands. But let's do what we can. And I am still amazed to this day how her family, like, and I'm talking after 4 decades, she was in her 40s. She is in her 40s still. I mean, that sounds like it's impossible at that point. Like, you're going to change people who are so set in their ways. They've never been any other way toward her. How are we going to reality engineer that? Okay. I was blown away at how it happened. And it happened through the process of her actually having a baby. And it was a very dramatic thing that I worked with her a lot with. And I was, you know, working with her when she had not when she gave birth, but like, you know, she had the baby and the baby was born premature. And we were doing sessions about her fears, those negative beliefs about, you know, I'm going to be a failure again. My family's going to be even harder on me because of this, and blah, blah, blah. She ended up actually losing the baby, and I think only a month or 2 in. I worked with her. She was in the hospital all the time. And after she lost the baby, she made a post on Facebook, and it was like and she told me as well, like she couldn't believe how much her family showed her love and rallied around her. And like, really, like, we saw that real change. And you might be thinking, well, Jaya, that sounds like a pretty negative thing to happen in someone's life. They lose their baby. And that's what I was thinking as well. It was really difficult. And obviously I worked on her really hard to keep the baby. God is in control. And I did a session with her where it almost went into what a level of energy work that I've never quite experienced, because I just wanted to help her so very much. And it felt like white magic. That's the only words I can use to describe it. I was summoning Mary, the saints. Like, I just really went for it. And I just remember really doing all I could and doing everything I could and just knowing, like, I have to do everything I can. And then I did everything I could. I knew I gave my all. And I prayed for her a lot too. And she lost the baby, but then the most incredible thing happened that was, again, a testament to this type of work, because there is an element of mystery to it. There is an element of mystery and to the timing. And I love that about it. I don't want to be, you know, like God is God. I'm just gifted from him. And so he really is, that's something else that makes me unique, is like I really keep him in charge in what I do, and I trust him, and he, you know, guides me, instructs me. And I didn't know what would happen. I know that something magical happened in that session, but I didn't know what that was exactly. And for a little bit it seemed like just sad. It was like she lost the baby, and it feels like really sad, and I kind of didn't know what to say to her, and it was really tough for me as well, and obviously more for her and her husband. But you know, they really wanted to have a child, and it was tough. And I checked in with her. I kept away for a while because I really wanted to give her space. I kept away, and then I checked back with her, and I was absolutely more blown away than ever I could have even expected. I think it was even a year later. She had another baby, and she had gotten pregnant almost right after, and I had no idea. She got pregnant, she had a healthy baby. The baby is still healthy to this day, a healthy little girl in England, and they are so happy. And I was just like, what? Like, I thought you were still like sad about your other baby. And like, of course they talk about their other baby all the time. They, you know, it was still very painful for them, but like I was blown away because it really restored my faith in energy work, because I knew something magical happened in that session, and I didn't know what would come of that, but I knew, like, we're hitting these negative beliefs that are causing this thing to happen in your reality. And like, I'm not God, so I can't just be like, your baby's gonna live, but I'm gonna do everything I can to assist in the positive transformation of your reality to have what you want come to being. And I couldn't believe the timing. It wasn't 2 years later, it was literally right away. Like, she got pregnant. How is that even possible? She got pregnant, had a healthy baby after not having a healthy baby. And this was her first baby. Like, it wasn't like she had other kids. It was like this, she it's like we didn't even know if she could. And then she just did. And I was amazed by that. I love like catching up. I love like looking at her pictures and videos on Instagram and Facebook, like seeing that baby girl grow up, and just knowing like I was a part of that, and the transformation really happened for her. But I'm trying to tell you, like, before working with me, she was really stuck, and she was trying a lot of different things, and she wasn't getting that breakthrough. And this is a very unique story, but I think there are a lot of really like interesting elements to it about the power of your energy and how that creates your reality. Because sure, you likely have a very different story, but what I want to tell you is that if you have negative energy inside of you, it's causing something in your reality. It is possible to have your reality change. And it is possible, like, we don't know exactly how it will change. I've seen instant change a lot. This story was, we were working on like something really big. So like, you know, the timing is God's timing always. But, you know, even the change in her family, that happened pretty much right away from working with me. Like, these things that feel so set in stone, they just aren't, because your energy is so changeable. And your energy changes every day because your beliefs change every day. And if you're feeling stuck, I want you to know that like the energies inside of you create your reality. Working with someone like me to dissolve the negative can, yes, have a really big positive impact overall on your reality. And it can happen fast. It can take time. Again, it's always God's timing. I actually do sessions on myself every day, and I see positive changes in my reality like that day. So like, again, it's God's timing, but it's also your beliefs. That's why you hear people talk about beliefs all the time. That's why a lot of inspirational quotes are about beliefs. That's like your beliefs are energy. And so if you believe something positive, you're going to invite a positive energy into you. what will happen to the movie of your life then if the film reel has something more positive on it, right? So using that philosophy, how can you make the things that you want to make happen in your reality? The answer is you have to believe, because when you believe this will happen, the energy comes inside you, then you will see it manifest in your world. But like, this is where it gets interesting, because like, okay, well, if you believe something's going to happen but you have a negative belief that it won't, like, what's going to happen there? Like, what's actually going to show up? So getting negative energies / negative beliefs cleared is really awesome, because it gives you like a clearer, let's bring it back to the clean slate that we have, since the marker isn't working. It gives you a clean slate to build upon. And that's where I think we've been getting it wrong with manifesting and with affirmations, and all the positive stuff is so important. I don't want to diminish that. Like, it really, really is so important. But if you're not getting cleared, like, that's where that client I told you about was stuck. It's like, you can do affirmations all day. You can, try to learn about spirituality and positivity and all kinds of things all day. But if you got a bunch of like negative stuff going on inside of you that's just sitting there, it's like, what's really going to show up in your reality then? Right? So like, getting that taken out, which is what I do, it like gives you like a more positive foundation, and then you can add in positive beliefs on top of that, and you're going to see like a more beautiful, positive reality. And I don't think people realize enough how much negativity hides inside of your energy, how many layers there are in your energy, because your energy, I described your energy anatomy, but like, I also see like the soul itself is so multi-layered, and it's so multi-layered beyond our understanding, because it's not a physical element. Like, if you look at my hand, like, you can see like there's here, it's like that thick, that's the whole thing. Your energy though, multi-dimensional. It's, you can pull giant things out of it. There can be giant things hanging out, it's not a physical thing we're dealing with. It is a supernatural thing we're dealing with. So our souls are full of so many layers of energy, and each layer, I've learned, if you think about like the rings on a tree, it's like there's just layer after layer, and they go deeper and deeper and deeper. So the further and further you go, and the further you clear inside, the more positive your reality gets, more and more and more. And the layers, what they are moments in time that your soul has lived. And so if you've had past lives, you guys, you can have so many layers inside, so many. And think about all the moments you've lived even this lifetime. And so these negative or positive beliefs that come in, they come into that layer in that moment. And then you're going on in linear time, and there's a new layer. So think about any negative belief that you've ever chosen to believe. There's probably a lot. I know in myself, I clear my energy all the time. And sometimes people worry when they work with me, like, what am I going to do when I stop working with you? Because there's so many layers. It's just like, I like to work with people based on their goals. Like, when you go to a doctor, you don't worry about like, how am I going to be healthy the rest of my life? It's like, you have something that you want to deal with, right? Let's like focus on creating that outcome for you. But long-term energetic health is something that comes from education, just like your physical health. It comes from education, knowledge. Some people work with a personal trainer to be healthy and strong. Some people work with a nutritionist long-term. Some people work with me long-term to have healthy energy. It really just depends on your goals. And you don't blame those people like, oh, well, if you're saying if I don't work with, a nutritionist long-term, I won't be healthy. Like, no, there are ways to be healthy, but like, it's like there are professionals to help you. And I believe like I'm a new world professional. Like, there hasn't really been someone, that hasn't been like a practical thing you can really book with someone with, like, to help you have clear energy all the time. But that's what I provide. Like, that's something that I've been working with one of my clients for almost 2 years now. You can, I have options where you can book me for a long time, but I also love working with people based on their goals, because that can also give you a result that you really want to see in your life, and that can be incredible too. And um, I don't want anybody to feel dependent on me, but like I do offer longer term packages if people want longer term support, of course, but it's also about your own knowledge of how energy works. It's about being empowered and understanding how this whole process works, because when you understand it better, you're going to be able to find ways to keep your energy clear on your own, and find ways to get rid of negative beliefs that will get negative energies out of you. Because the moment, just like you can take energies out and dissolve them like I do, the negative energies also have to come out. It's energetic law if you don't believe it anymore. So that's another big like area that I love to teach about, is like, well, then how do you change a negative belief? How do you not believe it anymore? Because it literally will clear your energy. And that's something that you can do on your own, of course, is work on your beliefs. And so I love, all my packages include coaching, because I love to teach people. I love, to help you understand how to live your life differently so that you get better results. And that is incredible. So I love to teach. That's why I have this YouTube channel too. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to do some, I just wanted to give you some more insight on the energy world and how to get unstuck if you need that. So thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in booking a free consult with me, you can get the link in my description here. You will have my email if you want to talk to me, and also the link to the interview I did last week, which goes really deep into my story and how I actually work with energy today, and more about my process. So thank you so much for watching, and remember to like and subscribe and share. Bye.